Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about coordination of benefits. So suppose you have insurance through an employer or a spouse's employer, and maybe you have Medicare or a private insurance. So these plans will coordinate as to avoid duplication of payment and determine what plan should pay first. And you want to keep an eye on that. I've seen a lot of things go wrong with this. I think most of the time things go fairly well. But when you have multiple insurances, just keep an eye on it. Today I just discovered an error on my lab slip. I'm going to be getting a blood test in September. And I was looking at the slip and I noticed the coordination of benefits was not correct. So I called my doctor's office and requested that they correct that. And they called me back and said that they do have a manual alert in the system about the correct order, but that the computer system would not allow them to put the correct order of insurance. So I asked why, and they said because I am the spouse on my husband's plan. Now my husband is actively working, so his plan would pay first and then Medicare would be secondary. But the computer system is saying Medicare is primary, and they said that's because I am a spouse on my husband's plan, so it's reading it that way, and there's nothing they can do about it except put a manual alert on it. And I've had a lot of problems over the years with this type of situation where claims had to be done over multiple times when the computer issues like this came up. So just make sure you get a handle on that, because it's really a pain when they have to do things over. Years ago, I actually had 3 insurances. And what happened was I called each company to be sure everyone was in agreement as to the correct coordination of benefits, because I was getting different answers from different people. And I wrote down who I talked to. I put it all in writing, wrote to each company and said, as agreed, this is the order. Well, lo and behold, a few years later, one of the companies questioned the order of insurance. And they went back for 2 years and undid all those claims. And it was a time when I was getting chemotherapy and a lot of chiropractic and physical therapy. So there were a lot of claims, and the doctor's offices were not too happy about this. And then, wouldn't you know, even a few years later, one of the companies still questioned the order. And thank goodness I had saved all the information of who I talked to and so forth, and I was able to straighten things out in that way. So you want to keep really good notes too if you talk with anyone, when you have a situation come up, who you talk to, the date you talk to them, their ID number, if they have an ID number at the claim office. A lot of claim people don't want to give their last name, of course, for privacy reasons, but sometimes they'll give you a reference number or ID number. So just really keep a handle on that. And if you, let's say you're working for an employer or spouses, and you think you know the correct order, maybe you have 2 plans, and suddenly the number of employees at that spouse's employer, your employer, changes, that could affect the order of who pays first. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but suppose an employer was really small at one time and suddenly they had acquired a lot more employees. It could affect the order. So just keep on top of that. It's just easier, because otherwise claims have to be straightened out. And it can be just kind of a pain in the neck to straighten all those claims out. So just wanted to bring that up, and please join me next Friday. Bye.